Good evening, folks. Blitzball Champ is back with a new video brought to you by Blitzball Champ Gaming here on the U to the Tube. So, WWE Hell in a Cell 2021 is in the books. So, just wanted to get on here and get my thoughts, run down each match. So, let's get started. So, there was a pre-show match, which I felt seemed like was kind of put together randomly. We had Mandy Rose going up against one half of the WWE Women's Tag Team Champions, Natalya. Of course, Dana Brooke was there, and Tamina was there as well at ringside. Um, Nothing really special. Like I said, I felt like this match was just randomly put together. It was back and forth a little bit, but Natalya was able to get the submission victory with a sharpshooter on Mandy Rose. I'm guessing this is eventually going to set up for them to have a tag title match at some point, whether it's on Raw or just at some point in the near future. But I don't know. If you ask me, this just kind of seems like a random pre-show match. You know, I would have thought that they could have just went ahead and had the women's tag team title match right then and there, personally. But this is what they went with for the pre-show. But I won't say it was a. I'm not gonna say it was a crap match, but it just felt random. Just felt really random for this being a pre-show match. But it is what it is. The main card, starting off the main card, we had the first Hell in a Cell match of the night. SmackDown Women's Championship match. Bianca Belair defends the title against Bayley. Personally, this was probably the match that I thought overall was pretty good, and one that I really didn't have any issues with. I thought it was good offense on both sides. I thought it was good storytelling on both sides. We got to see the use of Bianca's hair quite a bit from Bianca and from Bayley, so that really played a factor with its use in this match. I thought the spinebuster to Bayley on the double kendo sticks, I thought that was a pretty good spot. But I have to say that KOD onto the ladder from Bianca to Bayley was actually a pretty sweet finish. That was a cool finish. I definitely was digging that. But yeah, overall, I thought both ladies told a good story in this match. There's a good amount of build-up to this match. So, honestly, I thought this was a decent match. Especially for this being Bianca Belair's first official Hell in a Cell match. So, I also like the fact that Bianca Belair was kind of sporting. I'm guessing that her ring gear, I believe, was paying homage to Harlem Heat. Her ring gear looked really cool. Had the white with the flames on it. But I was under the assumption that was to pay tribute to the Harlem Heat, Booker T, Stevie Ray. I think it was Harlem Heat inspired gear, but I could be wrong. But that was the vibe that I got. But this was a pretty good match. Seeing Bianca Belair's hair being put to use, I mean, tying it around what was it? Tying it around Bayley's arm, tying it around the bottom part of the chair, and just it was crazy. Like seeing Bianca Belair's hair used quite a bit in this match. I was digging it. I was definitely digging it. But yeah, Bianca Belair was able to get the pinfall after a KOD onto the ladder. So, overall, good match. I thought it would have been sick if Bianca tried to do the 450 onto the ladder onto Bailey. That, whew, for a second it looked like that was being teased, but oh man, that would have been sick if she pulled that off. It was probably a good thing that didn't happen though. We got some words from Alexa Bliss. Had a segment with Bobby Lashley and MVP and the ladies. Next match was Seth Rollins versus Cesaro. And of course, Cesaro came out first, then got ambushed by Seth Rollins. But it looked like at first the ambush didn't even work. But eventually, the bell rang, this match got underway. And one thing I will say, these two athletes continue to bring it each time they're in the ring. And this was no different. This was definitely no different. I enjoyed this match, mainly for who is in it and for what these two are capable of doing. And although I'm not too big of a fan of the finish, part of me kind of gets it. Cesaro was pretty much dominating the last half of the match. You know, had Seth Rollins in the sharpshooter, even transitioned to a crossface at one point, and just pretty much it seemed like Cesaro had things in the bag. Was able to get the giant swing on Seth Rollins, and was going to do another sharpshooter, and it looked like he was going to transition to another submission again as Seth got closer to the ropes, but was able to reverse it into a package, like a small package reversal, and was able to get the 1-2-3 on Cesaro. So Seth Rollins gets the last laugh with the pinfall on Cesaro. Now, when you look at it, it looks like they're 1-1, because of course Cesaro did beat Seth Rollins at WrestleMania, and of course tonight Seth Rollins got the victory. So I'm sure they're going to have a rubber match. This is going to continue. And you know what? I have no problem with it. These two are excellent in the ring together. They have great chemistry. And as long as they don't abuse it too much, I think it'll go for the right amount of length. But Seth Rollins, even though it was a small package reversal finish, I understand why Seth Rollins won. So I'm cool with that. I'm definitely cool with that. Not who I originally picked to win, but I'm cool. I'm cool with the fact that he won. So pretty good match. And then next up was Alexa Bliss versus Shayna Baszler. And honestly, this definitely, I would have to say, is the worst match on the card. Definitely the worst. Now, Shayna did have Nia Jax and Reginald accompany her. Alexa Bliss was doing like she usually does. She'll take punishment and then she'll laugh it out. Shayna got her shots in. Got her joint manipulation, submission stuff in. But Alexa Bliss was able to take advantage of some, I guess, crazy eye voodoo magic. And it looked like Nia Jax was pretty much cast under that spell. Ended up smacking Reginald and pretty much mimicking whatever Alexa Bliss was doing. There was even a few times where Reginald was just, trying to not look at Alexa. And even Shayna felt some sort of way when, Alexa gave her that look. And it looked like she was almost hypnotized. But when it was all said and done, Alexa Bliss did a version of Sister Abigail, which actually was like the DDT that Velveteen Dream usually does. But not only that, afterwards was able to hit a Twisted Bliss onto Shayna for the 1, 2, 3. I mean, once again, another loss by Shayna. And honestly, I don't think it's possible that Shayna will ever really get the legit main roster run that she needs to even become a singles champion. I think it's out of the picture. I really do. I think it's out of the picture. For her to have the kind of momentum she did with Elimination Chamber and then the loss to Becky Lynch and just not really being able to bounce back since that really, really has sent Shayna on a decline. Now, I know a lot of people are like, well, she did win the women's tag team championships. I mean, it's like, okay, and how has the women's tag team division been? I mean, let's keep it real. Let's keep it real. It hasn't really been that great. Not really a lot of tag teams. It just seems like they've had to just put random people together. Let's keep it real. But just Shayna, I really don't see Shayna bouncing back and being in line for a singles title run. I just don't see it. I really don't. I think the best that we've seen from her has been on NXT. And I don't think we're ever going to see that again. I know that sounds crazy, but I just don't see it happening. I really don't. So I just really feel for Shayna. And who's to say she won't be cut at some point. Maybe sooner than later. Because I just don't think it's worth her being with WWE, because Vince and the folks just don't know how to book her on the main roster. Let's just keep it real. But Little Miss Bliss with the victory over Shayna. Wasn't really a good match, but not surprised with the outcome. Next up, we had Kevin Owens versus Sami Zayn, which, these two know each other very well. And usually, you're going to really get a great match out of Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens. Although, this match was dragging quite a bit. And of course, they were playing up the whole fact that Kevin Owens is still struggling to breathe after getting the Nigerian nail from SmackDown 2 days ago. So, I mean, I don't know. When you look at it, Sami Zayn took advantage of the situation, was able to get him with a haluva kick and get a victory. But you know what? It's been a while since Sami Zayn has had a victory over Kevin Owens. So honestly, I can dig this. If overall the match could have been better, but I see what they were trying to do. They were just really overplaying the fact that Kevin Owens wasn't 100% and was still having trouble breathing and such because of the Nigerian nail, aka Samoan Spike. I mean, same thing. Let's just keep it real. But I mean, these two know each other really well. And while it was an okay match, it definitely doesn't live up to as high level as their matches usually are. Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. Um, but it's definitely not over between these two. Definitely not over. But you don't want to get too set on this being a thing where they can just go to this matchup any given time. I mean, yeah, it may deliver, but you know, I'm pretty sure the fans don't want to see this matchup 20, 30 times over the course of a few months to a year. You know what I mean? So that's all I'm saying. All right. Then we had the Raw Women's Championship match where we had Rhea Ripley defending against Charlotte. Now, I will say this. The match was back and forth and was actually pretty good on both sides. I was definitely digging it. Only thing I did not like was the finish. Before I get to before I get to that, thought it was a pretty cool spot with the Charlotte moonsault landing on her feet and then doing another moonsault afterwards. I thought was pretty cool. And there was a moment where it looked like Rhea was about to get the win, but did the riptide too close to the ropes, and Charlotte was able to get her foot on the rope. I will have to say, I was very shocked that they actually let Rhea reverse to near breaking out of the figure eight. Well, of course, before Charlotte bridged up into it, but she at least had the figure four part on there. But I'm surprised that they let her escape it. Typically, 9 times out of 10, if it's not a direct reversal or a kick out, usually once Charlotte has it locked in, that's a wrap. Usually. Especially when she bridges up, that's usually instant. Almost an instant tap out. But that didn't happen. But then there was the finish. Both ladies were on the outside. And at first, what I thought was, it seemed like it may have been a double count out at once. But then again, I was wondering, wait a minute, I know the referee was like at 4. And then, I heard the bell. But what happened was Rhea hit Charlotte with the piece of the commentary table. And that pretty much warranted the disqualification. So, technically, Charlotte won the match via DQ. But because the title can't change hands on a DQ, Rhea Ripley retains the Raw Women's Championship. Not a fan of the finish at all. Because my whole thing is this. Now, there was a point earlier where Asuka was able to at least get a pinfall and a submission on Charlotte. Yeah, I understand Charlotte was technically injured or supporting an injury at the time. And then, of course, the Rhea Ripley distraction. She capitalized on the victory. So they're willing to do that with Asuka over Charlotte. But yet, Rhea Ripley beats Asuka 3 times in a row. Clean. I believe all 3 were via the Riptide. But yet, can't beat Charlotte clean. And has yet to beat Charlotte clean. And it's just ridiculous. It's really ridiculous that it had to resort to this. But yeah, Rhea has no problem beating Asuka 3 times. And it's really just ridiculous how they are super protecting Charlotte. It's like, dang. We all know that she's gonna surpass her father in title reigns, but I mean, dang, why are they acting like she's got to be invincible? I just really don't like that. It's already bad enough that some of her matches she just doesn't do well at selling, but it's like, dang. Like, we know she's going to surpass her father, but it's like, dang, it's okay for her to get pinned every now and then. It's okay for her to tap out every now and then. It's not gonna hurt her. It's not really gonna hurt her. I mean, come on. So, I don't know. It's just really annoying that it's like, it just feels like it has to cost an arm and a leg for Charlotte to lose clean. Like, oh my God, the whole world's going to end if Charlotte lose clean. I'm like, no. I mean, I just, that's just my take on it. It's just really annoying. And then the main event, we had Drew McIntyre versus Bobby Lashley, the WWE Championship, another Hell in a Cell match. Bobby Lashley, the champion, defending against Drew McIntyre. This is Drew McIntyre's last shot. If he doesn't win, then he does not get another title shot as long as Lashley is champion. This match was pretty good. It was back and forth. These two really just unloaded on each other. We saw weapons, like we saw kendo sticks, we saw tables, we saw chairs. It was awesome. Even MVP's cane came into play as well. And of course, MVP doing his part, doing his best to stay involved, not only hyping up Bobby Lashley, but getting involved any way he can, which he had the opportunity to, because this was another situation. Referee got taken down as Drew was getting ready to hit Bobby Lashley with the chair, ended up running into the referee. Referee was taken down. There was another referee outside the Hell in a Cell, and of course Drew McIntyre called for him to come in, that spare referee. But of course, in him coming in, that gave MVP an opportunity to enter the Hell in a Cell as well. And even though it looked like Drew was about to win, referee got pulled out by MVP, but MVP couldn't escape the cell. So Drew got to get him some on MVP, just wailed on him, and even took him out temporarily. Looked like many signs were pointing to Drew McIntyre winning, even maintaining the upper hand, and breaking out of the Hurt Lock a number of times. I think at least a good 3 or 4 times. I think 3. It looked like Drew was going to win. But in one last attempt to seal the deal with the Claymore, MVP grabbed his leg. And then from that, Bobby Lashley was able to get him with a fruit roll-up. As BC Amplified likes to say, a fruit roll-up. And Lashley gets the victory. Now, I'm not surprised that he won. Cheesy finish, though. Let's keep it real. Very cheesy finish. Because it's not like... Remember, Bobby Lashley has beaten Drew McIntyre, made him pass out to the Hurt Lock. So and then now he gets him with a fruit roll-up. Just really cheesy. Really cheesy finish. But because of that, Drew McIntyre can't challenge for the WWE Championship as long as Bobby Lashley's champion anymore. So it'll be interesting to see what happens with Drew going forward. A lot of people I talked to were thinking maybe this is the opportunity that Brock Lesnar may return and we could finally get that feud between Brock Lesnar and Bobby Lashley. I think that would be cool. I think that would be really cool. Yeah, I think that'd be really cool. But we'll see what happens. Word is that Becky Lynch has been at the Performance Center, so looks like Becky Lynch might be making her appearance soon, or at least we hope. But overall, on the pay-per-view. Then I believe the next one they have is Money in the Bank. Now that one I'm definitely not looking forward to, if I could be honest. I'm not looking forward to that. Because it's just, like I said, Money in the Bank is just really the cheesy way to win yourself a title just like that. You know, it's not really my favorite type of match or type of stipulation. Just a random cash in and bam, you're champion. I mean, I get how it can, make a star into a superstar and give them a title, but still, like, it's not really a good way of doing that. But that's just me. I think Money in the Bank should die, especially after what's happened with the Money in the Bank from last year. I mean, the whole thing with Asuka, I could understand. Becky Lynch got pregnant, so therefore, she wouldn't have been able to defend the title anyway. And then Otis wins it, and then later on, The Miz ends up winning it from him. And it was just bad. It was just really bad. Was able to cash in and win, and then turn right around, lose the first defense. Well, technically he ran, and then the second time lost. So that is why I feel like Money in the Bank needs to die. But that's for another time. That was your Hell in a Cell pay-per-view 2021. That's really all I got to say. Wasn't one that I was thrilled about. I don't think it tops NXT TakeOver in your house at all. But not surprised. I feel like a big portion of it, of the effect from the fact that they did a Hell in a Cell match on SmackDown, which really wasn't good. Because a Hell in a Cell match with commercials just does not, it's not the same. It's not the same at all. So, it is what it is. But, that's all that I have for this review. Let me know what y'all thought. Did y'all watch Hell in a Cell? What did y'all think of the matches? Did you agree with the outcomes? I mean, can't say that there were any big surprises or anything like that, but yeah. Let me know what y'all think. Like, comment, subscribe. Don't forget to hit the notification bell so you'll catch every one of my videos that I release. Thank you so much for watching. I hope everybody had an awesome and blessed Father's Day. I hope everybody has a blessed week coming up, and I will see y'all soon. This is Blitzball Champ signing off. Good night, everybody. Peace.